Hello, friends. Welcome to part 4 of my series about brains and singing that introduces you to some basic neurological concepts and some basic principles that we use in neurovocal for popular styles. As I make these, I'm hoping to share with singers, voice teachers, and vocal coaches ideas about the intersection of brain science and singing. I teach neurovocal, and our tagline is, "Your brain sings before you do." I continue to be excited about the idea that using neuroscience as a training tool, we can find joyful, sustainable singing for rock, jazz, R&B, pop, and all the microphone-based styles. This video is about attention, which is your neurological superpower. As I said, this series gives you 3 other videos prior to this one to help you make sense of it all. But hey, they're good all by themselves too. They're meant to give you a little peek into what neurovocal teacher training and certification looks like. So if you think it looks interesting, go to my site and schedule a free 30-minute chat with me. We'll talk about what's up with you, and we'll figure out if neurovocal training might be a good fit. I'm Meredith Colby, author of Money Knows How to Sing High, Loud, Healthy, and Forever, and creator of Neurovocal for Popular Styles, a way to approach singing for all the styles we sing into microphones that is based on brain science. I coach singers as well as offering professional training to voice teachers and coaches. To find out more, go to neurovocal.com, take a look around. The link is in my bio or in the description below. Here's a picture of the neurovocal model, which does not yet have a groovy name. I need a name for this. Today, we are looking at your neurological superpower, attention. Here's something you may not have thought about. Your sensory receptors, your eyes, ears, skin, mouth, nose, they are all passive, right? They're just sitting there, hanging out and receiving anything that bumps into them. Like right now, you are listening to my voice, but if you pause to the video, you'd probably be aware of other sounds in your environment. Your ears were receiving all those sound waves at once because they couldn't help it. But just because you weren't hearing those other sounds doesn't mean they weren't there. Your ears still received them. Your ears are passive in that way. So imagine if you were aware of all the things all the time. All the things your eyes could perceive at the same time as all the things your ears could perceive, at the same time as all the things you were touching and were touching you, at the same time as all the smells. You get what I mean, right? Your brain would explode. So how do you filter out some of the stuff from all of the stuff, so your brain doesn't explode? You use your superpower, which is called selective attention. Some neuroscientists refer to this as your attention spotlight. Your attention spotlight allows you to point your attention to the thing that is important to you in the moment. So for instance, say you're reading or you're working on your computer and you hear somebody say your name. Your attention will shift from what you're doing to the sound of a voice saying your name. The reason your attention spotlight is your neurological superpower is because it lets you meet your intentions to have agency in your actions and manage your cognitive resources. It does a lot. So sometimes you're being very deliberate in how you're focusing your attention. And sometimes your attention spotlight is like just being whipped around as your brain tries to process lots of stuff all at once. One of the reasons this matters for singers, getting to the singing part here, is that when you are in a performance situation, your attention typically goes a little haywire. Unless you're in a situation that is extremely familiar to you, your attention is not entirely on your singing. It's on the space, the people, the lights, the sounds, all of the things that are different and that your brain has decided are important. And that's a pretty big deal, especially when it comes to sound. When we pay attention to how we sound when we're practicing, then we learn to relate to our singing in a very specific way. And then when we get on the mic with the band in the new space and everything is different, more often than not, we're unable to rely on what we taught ourselves when we practiced in our house or in our car or in the shower, the places we practice. So another reason is that using your attention spotlight along with interoception, which I talked about in the previous video, you can teach your brain to relate to your singing in a different way. It's a skill and it's a process, but it is so worth the payoff. This is what neurovocal teaches. And when you get the hang of it and experience the freedom that it brings, it's really amazing. In the next video, I'm going to talk about how that vocal freedom works. So I hope you tune in. I'm Meredith Colby. Thanks for being here with me today. Have a great week.